Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Newcastle Star's response to Alexander Isak's controversial Liverpool transfer speaks volumes. Newcastle ace Anthony Elanga finds himself rubbing shoulders with Alexander Isak in the Sweden squad and said, "Good luck to him," after the striker finally secured his move to Liverpool. Isak made it clear earlier this summer that he wanted to explore his options away from St. James's Park, and Anfield soon emerged as his likely destination. Newcastle had stood firm on their stance that he would not be sold, leading Isak to down tools to force his move. His fellow Swede Elanga had just made the move to the Magpies, joining them from Nottingham Forest, and was part of the squad that had to deal with the constant noise surrounding Isak's future. The striker was even told to train on his own away from the main group. Isak secured his exit on deadline day with Newcastle receiving a British record fee, bringing an end to the saga. Elanga is now having to play alongside the player who rubbed up the Toon fan base the wrong way and has delivered a short response. He told Fotbollskanalen, "Isak is a Liverpool player right now. I have the chance to play with him in the national team. He had a good career at Newcastle, but right now he is a Liverpool player. Good luck to him." The forward downplayed any sense of drama within the squad, insisting they've still bought in plenty of talent. He added, "It has been chill. He had a contract with us, and right now he is with Liverpool. We all think he is a very good player. We lost a good player, but we also signed good players. Hopefully we can look forward and focus on this season." Newcastle have 2 points from their opening 3 games and are still eyeing their first win. Their next outing after the international break could see them boast new arrivals Nick Woltemade and Jon Wissa in their starting 10th. Newcastle won't face Isak in his new colors until late January when they head to Anfield to play the Reds. Liverpool have recently secured victory over the Magpies, doing so whilst the Isak saga dragged on with the striker left out of Eddie Howe's squad for the first 3 games. Elanga maintained Isak was free to do what he wanted with his career. "It's his choice," he said. "He chose Liverpool. Good luck to him. He is a friend to me and a fantastic footballer. I can play with him in the national team, and that is good as well." Newcastle Star opens up on Alexander Isak decision to make 125 million Liverpool transfer, we all think. Newcastle United winger Anthony Elanga says he holds no grudges towards Alexander Isak after his fellow Sweden international left for Liverpool on transfer deadline day for 125 million. Elanga moved to St. James's Park from Nottingham Forest in a 55 million deal in mid-July, shortly before the tension started to become public between Isak and the club's hierarchy. After missing the 4-0 defeat to Celtic on July 19th, new Red striker Isak then refused to fly out on their tour of the Far East, citing a minor injury, before returning to training at the facilities of his former club, Real Sociedad, without the permission of Newcastle. An explosive statement that cited broken promises and lost trust was released just minutes after Isak was included in the PFA's Team of the Year for the 24-25 campaign last month, and the center-forward eventually sealed his dream move to Anfield on Monday evening for a British record fee. Elanga was philosophical about his international teammates' move as Jon Dahl Tomasson's side gets set to meet Slovenia in a World Cup qualifier on Friday, saying he does not want to be critical of Isak's efforts to leave Newcastle. "Isak is a Liverpool player right now," Elanga told Fotbollskanalen, as translated by Sport Witness. "I have the chance to play with him in the national team. He had a good career at Newcastle, but right now he is a Liverpool player. Good luck to him. It has been chilled. He had a contract with us, and right now he is with Liverpool. We all think he is a very good player. We lost a good player, but we also signed good players. Hopefully we can look forward and focus on this season. It's his choice. He chose Liverpool. Good luck to him. He is a friend to me and a fantastic footballer. I can play with him in the national team, and that is good as well." Isak could make his Liverpool debut at Burnley on September 14th, ahead of visits the following week from Atletico Madrid in the Champions League and Everton. Jamie Carragher angry at Alejandro Garnacho after Man Utd transfer to Chelsea. It's a miss. Jamie Carragher has slammed one thing he can't stand following Alejandro Garnacho's switch from Manchester United to Chelsea. But it's got nothing to do with the winger's footballing talent or how his transfer unfolded. Rather, it's Garnacho's behavior after rocking up at Stamford Bridge. Following confirmation of his $40 million move, the Argentina international pitched up in West London but was restricted to watching the Blues clash with Fulham from the stands. The 21-year-old ace has penned a 7-year deal with Chelsea, whilst United bagged themselves a 10% sell-on clause. However, the transfer was completed too late for Garnacho to feature against the Cottagers. Less than 8 minutes into the fixture, Garnacho was caught red-handed by TV cameras. Sky's footage showed the youngster glued to his mobile rather than focusing on the action unfolding before him. Carragher, alongside Roy Keane, was asked to assess some of the Premier League's most significant summer signings. That Fulham incident clearly left its mark on Carragher's judgment. He said, "You know what I didn't like? Did you see the game against Fulham when they go to the people in the stands and they are on their phones with the game going on? I can't stand it. And it's not just him, by the way, but I can't stand it. So it's a miss for that, for sitting on his phone during an important game for Chelsea." Keane weighed in on the transfer, stating, "I'm undecided on that one. I'm not convinced. Garnacho's Chelsea debut could come against the Blues' other West London rivals in Brentford after the international break. The former United star will need to demonstrate his fitness after being separated from Ruben Amorim's first team throughout the summer. The winger was part of a group that included Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Antony, who were banned from training with their teammates whilst seeking transfers elsewhere. Garnacho is eager to integrate with his new squad, however, saying, "It's an incredible moment for my family and I to join this great club. I can't wait to get started. I watched the Club World Cup, and to join the world champions is special. We're the best team in the world. It's amazing to be here, and I'm very happy." Toni Kroos makes brutal Alexander Isak assessment after $125 million Liverpool transfer. Former Real Madrid midfielder Toni Kroos has given a blunt assessment of Alexander Isak following his British record move from Newcastle United to Liverpool. The striker completed the $125 million move to Anfield on deadline day after months of speculation. Isak signed a 6-year contract on Merseyside, though the Northeast club had initially demanded $150 million. But with Isak pushing for the transfer, the St. James's Park hierarchy were forced back to the table and finalized the agreement over the final weekend of the window. The Swede has not featured in a single match since the start of pre-season, missing all of Newcastle warm-up fixtures, prior to his move to Liverpool being confirmed. He is currently with the Sweden squad preparing for games against Slovenia and Kosovo and is taking part in full training. Speaking on the podcast he co-hosts, former Germany international Kroos downplayed the significance of the transfer fee. "Trust our listeners, but I'd say that roughly half of them have never even heard of Isak. Judge for yourselves. Seriously," he remarked, via Mundo Deportivo. Kroos doubled down, saying, "Yes, it's a lot of money without a doubt." Isak is expected to make his Liverpool debut after the international break, when the Reds face Burnley at Turf Moor on Sunday, September 14th. Liverpool star reveals transfer interest from European giants. Cody Gakpo commits future to Liverpool. Until 2030 Liverpool forward Cody, Gakpo has signed a contract extension that keeps him at Anfield until 2030. At 26, he is entering what should be the peak years of his career and has chosen to do so under the stewardship of Arne Slot, who guided Liverpool to the Premier League title in his first season. Focus on stability and family life for Gakpo, the decision was about more than football. He revealed to ESPN that discussions over the extension had been going on for some time. I think it took us a year, maybe a little longer or shorter, but it's just a long process, he explained. His priority was clear, both on and off the pitch. I had already indicated to the club that I am happy and that my family is happy in England. We feel at home, and I think that's also very important, in addition to football itself, of course. The winger has stressed how much certainty matters at the top level. If the future is uncertain, then it will just be a very difficult story, he said, underlining the peace of mind he now enjoys. Bayern Munich's interest. While Gakpo was always leaning toward staying at Liverpool, there was interest from abroad. Bayern Munich explored a move earlier in the summer as they sought to strengthen their attack. Gakpo confirmed, "From what I understand, they have come, but in the end, they have bought Luis Diaz," delivered with a grin that suggested there was never much doubt in his mind. For a player who once faced long transfer sagas at PSV, the clarity this time around was refreshing. "It is nice. I have, of course, experienced it differently myself. Such a transfer window can be very hectic and stressful for a player and everyone around him. I no longer suffer from that now." Transfer window reflections. Gakpo appreciates that not every player copes as smoothly when clubs circle. It is difficult because a lot happens. Other clubs approach you, but your own club can then want to keep you. Everyone deals with that, in their own way, but it is certainly difficult. If the future is uncertain, then it will just be a very difficult story. Liverpool's fans will be reassured that one of their key attacking options has given a long-term commitment at a time, when major European sides, including Bayern Munich, continue to monitor Premier League talent. For Gakpo, it appears the blend of competitive success, family happiness, and faith in the project under Slot made the choice straightforward. Anthony Elanga reveals what the Newcastle squad really think of Alexander Isak after jumping ship to Liverpool. Alexander Isak's transfer saga dominated headlines this summer. Since the start of June, the Sweden international has wanted to make the move to Anfield and become a Liverpool player. Although it took until deadline day for a move to be sealed, the fact that he's now a Liverpool player means that Arne Slot has one of the best teams in the world at his disposal. Newcastle fans have understandably been left rather annoyed with the way that Isak forced his way out of St. James's Park this summer. This is fairly understandable, as to prize him away from Newcastle, the Reds have had to break the British record transfer fee once again. Anthony Elanga says that Newcastle still think Alexander Isak is a very good player. Although the bridges between Isak and Newcastle's fan base have certainly been burned, not all that much has been said by his former teammates. As mentioned, the saga dominated the transfer window, and although it ended up with the striker joining Liverpool, the Magpies still got a more than respectable fee for his transfer. Indeed, his goals will be hard to replace for Newcastle this season, even though Nick Woltemade has been brought in. And, while away on international duty, Newcastle ace Anthony Elanga has shared how the Magpies squad really feels about Isak forcing his way out of the club. "Isak is a Liverpool player right now. I have the chance to play with him in the national team. He had a good career at Newcastle, but right now, he is a Liverpool player. Good luck to him," he said. "It has been chill. He had a contract with us, and right now he is with Liverpool. We all think he is a very good player. We lost a good player, but we also signed good players. Hopefully we can look forward and focus on this season. It's his choice. He chose Liverpool. Good luck to him. He is a friend to me and a fantastic footballer. I can play with him in the national team, and that is good as well." Liverpool must win the Premier League now that they have Alexander Isak. Even before Liverpool went on their massive spending spree this summer, Slot's men were seen as the favorites to come away with the Premier League title. However, now that they've spent over $400 million on improving their ranks with players such as Isak and Florian Wirtz joining the club, anything but a title win will be seen as a failure. Indeed, it was clear that a fair few areas of Liverpool's first-team squad needed upgrading, and that's exactly what's happened. However, with the quality they now have among their ranks, There's going to be so much more added pressure upon their shoulders. At the moment, everything seems to be going smoothly, with Liverpool adding 9 points to their top-flight tally. But as the season goes on, things could change, and the Reds could end up on the back foot, which would be far from ideal. Andy Robertson explains turning down Atletico Madrid to stay at Liverpool. Andy Robertson turned down an offer from Atletico Madrid in order to stay at Liverpool this season, with the vice-captain explaining his difficult decision. Robertson finds himself, for the first time since taking over as first-choice left-back in 2017, in an uncertain position when it comes to game time at Liverpool. With Milos Kerkez arriving as Arne Slot's new go-to starter, the Scot has been demoted to the role of backup, which has limited him to just 2 substitute appearances so far this season. That comes after interest from Atletico Madrid over the summer, with many expecting Robertson would take the opportunity to remain a key player in Spain. But speaking to BBC Sports Scotland this week, the 31-year-old explaining that his heart was still in Liverpool. "We had options and we just worked through it as a family," the Scotland captain said. "Everything boiled down to that my heart was still in Liverpool and we wanted to stay. We're very settled there and we're at one of the biggest clubs in the world." Robertson's choice to stay is one that highlights the many factors behind the decisions footballers make over potential transfers, particularly as they get older and family becomes their priority. His call to remain at Anfield was rewarded as Slot opted to name him Liverpool's new vice-captain, replacing Trent Alexander-Arnold. That ensures he will retain an important role in the squad, even though his game time is reduced. Though as he continued, Robertson outlined his hopes for an increase in minutes after the international break. "The season's long. There's plenty of games, and I believe I'll play plenty of games," he continued. Now, whether is the case or not, nobody can look into the future, unfortunately. Nobody can see that. Obviously, in the summer, I had to think about what I wanted and what I wanted to do. And I came to the decision, committed to the decision, and I'm happy to be there. Preseason, I came back in really good shape. Trained really well and maybe not got the game time I maybe would have liked in the first part of the season, but that's part and parcel of it. I believe when we come back and we've got lots of games, hopefully I can play more games. So, I've missed the feeling of playing games. I'm used to being a regular starter for so many years, and it's been a bit of a difficult transition, but I think I've dealt with it fairly well. It's just about trying to look after yourself, keep yourself as fit as possible, mentally staying as sharp as possible, and I've done that in training. Then coming away here, I'm excited to be away with Scotland now. Get games under my belt. Obviously, there are no bigger games than World Cup qualifiers. Then let's see what happens when we go back to Liverpool. Thank you for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.